Hello, hello. So lovely to see you here. Happy New Year, everybody. It is 2018. Whoa. I hope you've all got big plans for 2018. Now, this week I'm going to be doing several lives and I'm going to be looking at some key indicators that you should be looking at, especially at this time of year, going forward planning for 2018. So without any ado, I shall just jump into this. If you're watching the replay, just do a hashtag replay so that I can see that you were here. Of course, as I always say, show me some love. If you like what you are seeing and hearing, give us a thumbs up. If you love it, shoot a heart across. It would be great. So, you need to know your numbers and you need to know why, how your numbers can help you transform. But more importantly, when you lay all your business numbers out, you need to know how to diagnose what your numbers are telling you. Now, it's one thing for you to know, oh, okay, I've got, let me turn this music off over here for a minute, please. It's distracting me. It's one thing for you to know, okay, I've got X percentage of a rebooking rate and I've got X percentage of a retailing rate. That's not the whole picture though, because you need to look at all the numbers across your business and diagnose how each one of those relates to every other number. So let's give an example. If you had, say, a 90% retailing rate, you might go, oh wow, that's so good. But if you've only seen 5 clients, that's not in perspective then, and that's not a great number. I mean, yeah, it's okay, but considering it's seeing 3 clients, it's not. So you've got to look at all the numbers across the board. So we're going to look at rebooking is the first percentage that you'd need to look at. Now, actually, I'll go back a step. The first thing that you need to work out is your break-even point, your BEP. If you don't know what your break-even point is, everything else, you've got nothing to measure that against. Okay, so that's your first thing that you need to know. So your break-even point is all the expenses that your business incurs, from electricity to insurance to staff wages to superannuation. Your wage, include that in there. So many people don't. You know, your towels expenses, running your laundry, all of those expenses. You work them out over a 12-month period and then divide that into over the year, 12 months. So what's that going to cost? What's your break even every month? Even though you pay your insurance once a year, some of you do, others don't, you still want to work that out over the year and break it down into that 12-month period, because you want to have that money set aside for the coming year. So it's really, really important to know what your break even is. And you need to revisit your break even all the time, at least every 3 months, because electricity prices go up. You might change your phone plan. You might have more staff. You might have less staff. So your break-even point goes down. So you need to be tracking and measuring your break-even point all the time. Your break-even point, from there, you can calculate how many clients do I need to be seeing to reach my break-even point? How many clients do I need to see to exceed my break-even point? So it's really, really important that you have that calculated before anything else. Then, once you've calculated your break-even point, if we look at your rebooking rate, Now, why is it important to look at your rebooking rate? If your rebooking rate is anywhere between 10 and 30%, it's a little bit sad. If it's between 30 and 50%, it's getting better. Between 60 and 80, yeah, that's good. Between 80 and 100, nailing it. Now, why is that important? Because you've got to look behind that rebooking percentage. So let's assume that your rebooking percentage is somewhere between 10 and 30%. Then you've got to look and think, why am I, and here's the thing, get curious, okay? Don't be beating yourself up about it. It's get curious. Why is my rebooking rate so low? What can I do to improve it? So you need to work backwards. You need to look at the client journey, because if people are experiencing an amazing client journey, they are the ones that are more than happy to rebook because they're enjoying the experience. So if you've got a low rebooking rate, I would start by looking at the client journey. And if you've got a team of staff, the next thing you need to do is look at the individual staff members' rebooking rate. You always need two calculations. You need the individual staff member and you need the overall percentage for your business. So if you break it down, let's say you've got 4 staff members and this one has a 30% rebooking and this one has 70% rebooking and this one has 60% and this one has 50%. They're all doing pretty good, aren't they? So then I'd be going, that's a little bit of a red flag. I'm curious. Why does this staff member only have a 30% rebooking rate? So then you need to start investigating, why is that lower than these other 3 staff members? Okay, so you need to investigate, have a treatment with that person, send in a secret shopper, get that person to give one of the other staff members a treatment, an experience as if they're a client. Do the reverse and have a really good staff member that's got, say, a 70% rebooking rate. Give this person an experience through the business. Because it could be that this person, it's not that they're not trying. It might be that they just have missed an ingredient. And it could be that they have this amazing aha moment and their rebooking rate increases. So you need to really dig in to these rebooking numbers if they're low. If they're high, move on to the next set of numbers because you're doing really well. But you have to track and measure all the time, because what happens sometimes is at the end of 1 month you're looking at the business as a whole, and it could be that the business as a whole has a 70% rebooking rate. And then you're tracking and measuring, and then you see, oh, hang on, last month our rebooking rate, it dropped from 70% to 55%. Red flag. I'm curious, why did that happen? So then you need to investigate, why did that happen? What do we need to do to bring that rebooking rate back up? So that's the importance of understanding your rebooking rate. So it's a diagnosis tool, okay? It's not just, oh yeah, we're doing great with our rebooking rate. You have to keep tracking and measuring. It's an ongoing thing. So how do you work out your rebooking rate? So if, for example, you had 40 clients booked and the rebook, out of 100 clients that you saw, it's a simple calculation, that's 40% rebooking rate. So it's quite easy to work that out, and your point of sale system should be able to work that out for you. So the next thing that you would want to look at to diagnose your business is your retailing percentage. So again, why is that important? Retailing percentage is important because it's almost like the cherry on the top of a service, because you already have the client there and you are receiving the service amount, but to be able to put product on top of that, it increases the average client spend, which we'll discuss next. So that's why it's important to track and measure your retailing, because it's like leaving money on the table if you're not tracking and measuring your retailing percentage. So again, your retailing percentage, say if there was 100 clients that came through the salon and 30 of those clients purchased a product, that's a 30% retailing percentage. Simple. Again, your point of sale system should be able to work that out for you. So then you need to diagnose. So again, it's look at the individual staff member, so work out all the individual staff members' retailing percentages. And again, you might discover, oh wow, staff member A, they're doing 50% retail, which is excellent. Staff member B, they're doing 8% retail. They need some help. Staff member C, they might be doing 20%, but they might be new too, so that might actually be quite good, but they can use some help. Now, when you diagnose the individual staff member and what they're achieving, then you can start to help and increase that retail. So it might be that you engage staff member A to help staff member C, get staff member C to shadow staff member A and listen to the language that they're using and how they are managing to be doing 50% retail to their clients. And 9 times out of 10, it really does come down to confidence, and it comes down to wanting to give the best possible service to your client. It's a reframe of your mindset. It's not, I have to sell something. No, you don't have to sell something, but you do have to give your client the best possible experience. And if that means they walk out of your business with a home care product that's going to extend the life of the treatment that they've had with you, I could go on and on. But so the point is, diagnose. So see what is the business percentage of retail overall and what is the individual retailing percentage. So if somebody's retailing percentage is low, it gives you the opportunity to look at their other numbers as well. And it also, you need to really break this down. What services is that particular staff member doing? They might be doing a service where you actually don't have a home care product to support that service. Now, let's see if I can think of an example. Say it's they do waxing all day, and it might be that you don't have exfoliating mitts, you don't have a body exfoliating product. So it could be that that particular staff member, it's not from them not wishing to retail, it could be a lack of resources for that person to retail. And here's another tip that's flown into my head, is for every service that you offer in your business, you should have a list of at least 3 items that your team can retail against that service. With skincare, it's easy, it's ridiculously easy, but it could be, okay, eyebrow waxing. That's the biggest ticket item for a lot of people, is eyebrow waxing. And a lot of people, they don't have anything to retail to support that product. It could be as simple as a brow pencil, or it could be brow dust. It could be that you upsell them to eyebrow tinting. It could be that you funnel them into cosmetic tattooing for their eyebrows. There's opportunities there, but you have to find them, and you have to be curious about how can we improve this retail percentage. So that's what you need to do. You have to get curious about your numbers, and you have to look and dig. It's not one number by itself that tells the whole story. It's look across all your numbers, and they will give you a complete story, because it could be that that particular staff member is not actually seeing many clients. So there's all different variables that you need to take into account. So the next thing that you would want to diagnose is your average client spend. Now, average client spend is calculated by, let's say over the week, a therapist takes in, let's say, $4,899, as I read from my Salon Whisperer book. And the number of clients that they saw was 120. So you divide the 120 into the gross amount taken, and that would equate to an average client spend of $40.82. Pretty low. But again, that depends on your particular business and what your break-even point is. That might be a great figure for your business. But the businesses that I'm currently working with, I would suggest that's not a great number at all. So then you have to go back to digging again, don't you, and diagnosing, and get curious and think, well, why is that average client spend so low? What can I do to improve my average client spend? So if you were to look at your retailing numbers next to your average client spend, and you can see that, ooh, my retailing percentage is actually quite low, that is reflected in my average client spend. So by increasing the retailing percentage, you are going to increase the average client spend. The two go together. So then you would need to look and go, okay, I need to increase the average client spend. How are we going to do this? Get curious again. Look for ways to do that, and there's so many ways to do it. The first thing that you want to do, if you have a team, is you need to brainstorm. Don't just think, okay, this is my business, I run this team, I have to tell them how we're going to do this. That's the old-fashioned way of doing things. That's not the modern way of doing things. Your team is your business. You're all in this together. So you need to go to your team and you need to brainstorm and say, hey, we need to find some ways to come up with increasing our average client spend. Now, we can look at retailing. I see that that's quite low. What do you think that we could do to improve our retailing? Do you think we need, some product knowledge training? Do we need to get our rep in here to go over things? And just start the ball rolling and let the team give you some feedback and take all of that feedback on board. And if you have staff members saying, oh, I don't want to sell, I feel like I'm being pushy, which is what, they all tend to say. I didn't go to beauty school to be a salesperson. Then you need to get somebody in to train them. And what I would actually say is you need to train them, because here's what I have found, and I actually won't work with staff for this very reason. I worked with staff, and when I had my business, I also got third-party people in to work with my staff. And do you know what I found? And it took a while for this to sort of filter through, and I got it. Is they don't really care what the third party is telling them. Yeah, they might in the moment, but the second that that third party is out the door, it kind of sticks for a little bit. You know, it's like you go to that seminar and you're like, rah, 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 and you think, oh yeah, this is great. And then, you know, 24, 48 hours, you're just back to meh. That's what it's like when a third party comes in to train your staff. That's what it's like after your reps come in. Now, there's a caveat to all of this, that if you have a rep that has amazing rapport with your staff, then that's what you do, and that might work. But you need to carry on the momentum that that rep has created with your team. You, as the leader, have to lead your team. You have to keep that momentum going. You can't expect a third party to come in and go, right, this is what you do, there you go, you've got all the tools, see you later, have a good time. It won't stick. I know it won't stick. I've tried that with teams, and it's like, yeah, okay, we had a bit of a bludgeon, we learnt something, you know, but they're not accountable anymore to that third party that came in and told them that information. Whereas if you learn the skills to teach your team how to do something amazingly, that works. That is what sticks. And that is why, as a business coach, I empower salon owners to know all this and know how to train their team. So that's what you need to do. Diagnose how to improve the average client spend. And once you, that's just 3 numbers that I've discussed today. We'll jump into some others. I'm doing a few lives crosses throughout this week, because I would love the opportunity to promote to you guys to start 2018 with help. I mean, I know there's amazing coaches out there at the moment. There's so much free information, but the ongoing support and having someone that's got your back is invaluable when you are a business owner. I know, I've been there, done that. So I am this week, or this month actually, for the month of January, offering you the opportunity to start 2018 with my support, and I'll have your back. So what I'm offering is, I have my online program, the 7 Keys to Transform Your Cash Flow, and it looks at all of the key numbers and indicators within your business that you need to know so that you can transform that cash flow, bring in more, not be struggling month to month going, oh gosh, you know, now I've got to pay the super, and now I've got to pay the tax, and I don't have this and I don't have that. We work through all of that. So the online membership is it looks at the 7 keys. The first key, which is the most important, which is what I've touched on here today, is the numbers of your business, and that's what the first key will look at. The second key looks at retailing, and I give you the script. I give you the full training manual, if you like, for you to take that to your team and train your team on how to retail. The third key is all about your clients, and it's about the client journey. It's about consultation, everything about the clients. Key 4, we look at creating a brand and a theme in your business. Key 5 is marketing, huge. And key 6 is about the systems that you need to put in place in your business. And I could go on and on with the keys, but it's an ongoing program. You can go whenever you like. It's a month-by-month membership. If you decide after 3 months, oh, I've got everything I need now, I really don't need the rest, I'm set, you're off. There's no obligation to stay. It's that simple. What you also get as a benefit to the 7 Keys to Cash Flow is there's a private Facebook group. It's secret. You need an invitation from me to access that, so that's only for very important people. It's a very small group because some of my salons that I work with, they want to stay anonymous. They don't want me going, oh, well, I'm working with XYZ Salon and we're doing yada, yada, yada. And that's not my style. We have confidentiality agreements, and so what happens stays private. It's as simple as that. And the point was that some of those salon owners don't even want to be a part of the secret Facebook group because they just want to remain incognito, and that's fine by me. So it's a beautiful small secret Facebook group where you can ask anything that you want. There's lots of there's actually going to be even more this year, live crosses where I will touch on something that will assist you in your business. So the 7 keys to transform cash flow for the month of January to get you started for 2018 on the right foot. I am slashing the first month to help you to get started. I'm slashing $200 off, which is crazy. And the first month will just be $76. Now, you will need a special coupon code to get that $200 off for the first month. Now, after the first month, it will revert to the $276 per month, which is, I think it's less than 2 coffees a day. It's ridiculous. Now, anyone that knows me, that's worked with me, knows that I have a tendency to over-deliver. Can't help myself. So there is bonuses, of course, in all of those keys, and there is the opportunity to have a live Q&A with me every month. So it is value for money. It really is. So that is available to you only for January, and you must use the code SAVE200 to get that special discount for the month of January. I would love to see you join this online membership. It really does have the core components that you really do need to know to have an amazing business. Why do I know? Because I was a salon owner once. Heck, I had so many different coaches. I won't list any of them, but I had a lot. And what I found was lacking with all of those coaches, not one of them, not one, asked me about my numbers. And if they had have asked me about my numbers and they had have diagnosed my numbers, they would have been able to help me a lot better than they did. So that's why now, as a salon business coach, I know what you need. I know how to find out exactly where things need improving. I've been there. I've done that. I've felt the pain. You know, when you're there and you're in it, you're too stressed and you're too anxious to sort of just calm down and know where to start and where to figure things out. Hindsight is such a wonderful thing. It really is. But yeah, I've got your back. I understand where you are. I understand the hardship. I understand the frustration. But I also understand those amazingly successful people out there. And you just want to take it to that next level. boy, that's exciting. Yes. So that is what we've covered today. We have covered your rebooking percentage and how to analyze that. We've covered your retailing percentage and how to analyze that. We've covered your average client spend and how to analyze that. And it's a matter of getting curious and diagnosing your business. You must know your strengths and your weaknesses. If your weakness is numbers, get help. So analyze that as well. Analyze your strengths and weaknesses, your team's strengths and weaknesses. Say that 3 times fast. And leverage your team's strengths. Okay. So that is where I shall wrap it up for today. Just checking my notes. Yes, we've covered all that. So yeah, hit the like button, hit the love button if you've found some value out of today, and I will be popping back on live again on Wednesday, and I haven't actually decided what we'll cover yet, whether we'll keep moving through the numbers or whether I will go in another direction, but it will be of value. So and one last thing is, look for the post. It'll be down below somewhere, or in the events tab actually. I am running the 2018 business planning workshop next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Melbourne, Australia time. You need to register for that. It won't be here in the group. It will be on another platform, so you do need to register so that you can receive the link for that one. And that will take you through how to get that complete diagnosis, so that then you can start to dig in and get curious and fix things. So I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Day. Happy 2018, and I look forward to seeing a lot more of you. Ciao.